Oh, there I am. Yeah, it's been a while since I last did one of these, so I was just trying to get used to settings and everything. It's been around 7 months since I last did this. I can't believe it's been that long. It was last summer. I was out there on the balcony with my shades on and necking bottles of water just to keep hydrated out there. And that's the last time I did one of these. And I think the last time I did a live was when Skamaka signed, which was at the end of July. But I'm finally back. I found some time to do one of these, and as the title says, it's been a minute since I last did a video of this sort. I've shared this already across a few social media platforms, so if you have any questions at all, this is just a generic Q&A. You can ask whatever. It doesn't have to be football related. It doesn't even have to be West Ham related. You can ask whatever the hell you want. I'm now live. Tell you what I've been up to, actually, since I last did the stream. Had my birthday, did a little bit of travelling, working a lot. I think that's taken up most of my time, in all honesty. And yeah, just life, basically. That's life. That's what people say. Ask some questions. Coming away. You get asking some stuff. Do you like Huddersfield Town? I'm from Yorkshire, actually. I'm from Doncaster. Do I like Huddersfield Town? I can't say I like them, really, but they live there. Well, not live, but they were fairly close to where I used to live in the UK. For those who don't know or are new to my stream, I live in Canada. But Huddersfield was in Yorkshire and not too far away from Doncaster. I don't really like Huddersfield Town, no. They were in the Premier League, weren't they, for two seasons? Yeah, it feels like a while ago, but it probably wasn't. But nah, I don't like Huddersfield Town and West Ham fan, so I can't say I do like them. But thank you for your question. Keep them coming, though. Aren't people asking away? Just going to share it on my socials real quickly. Alrighty. Yeah, from the Anvil, West Ham United is the channel name. Please do share it. What do I do? Copy link. I shouldn't really be on my phone, but like I say, I've got to just share the link. Six people viewing already, so that's not too bad. Keep it coming, folks. Okay, I'll share it on my socials. You people should be able to see it. Five people now. Thoughts on Marsh getting sacked from Leeds? He won 2 of his last 17 games, and I didn't realise things were that bad. But to summarise my thoughts, it doesn't really come as a surprise. I think what he's done is he's tried to build like an American-ish team with all of his contacts from America, like Brendan Aronson, Tyler Adams, those kind of guys. Aronson's a very hit-and-miss player. Adams is quality. He's also brought in Weston McKennie. That was a bit of a shocker one to me. I wasn't expecting that guy to come in, especially because he's one of those, I'd say one of the highly rated midfield talents in Europe. He's up and coming. I wasn't expecting Weston McKennie to go to Leeds, but again, the American connection. But like I say, I didn't realise things were that bad at Leeds. I really didn't. Just because they got wins over Liverpool, it didn't really mean that Marsh's job was safe. I think he could end up managing the US national team. He's going to be up there for a candidate to take that job, isn't he? But it hasn't worked out for him at Leeds. And Leeds fans are wanting Bielsa back as well. I'm like, are you mad? He's not going to come back to Leeds. If anything, he'd drag you down more than bring you up. But it's not worked out for him, and it's a shame he's gone. Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that there. Keep asking some stuff, guys. I really want to know what you've got to ask. Because, like I say, it doesn't have to be to do with football. You could ask me anything you want. Evening, James. Hope you well, mate. Yeah, you too. It's not even. It's 3:20 p.m. where I am. If I were in Ontario or even Atlantic time, I would actually be in the evening. And in fact, in theory, Canada's not that far of a flight away from the UK. Manchester to Montreal is probably around a 4-hour flight, just to give you some scaling. If you're flying further west, you're going to be traveling over the country pretty much. Do you like owls? Well, they can turn their heads 360 degrees. I personally don't have a lot of experience with them. But on the other hand, I have visited Hillsborough, but I'm not a Sheffield Wednesday fan. So if you want to flip it on that side, you can do. 10:20 p.m. in the UK, yeah, 7 hours from Mountain Time. Time zones confuse me. There's 7. Is there 7 in Canada? No, there's 6. We have 6. So it depends where you are. Would you rather invest in a decent training ground or buy a £50 million player? We already have bought a £50 million player, and I think the training ground really needs to be done up because it just looks like one of them things that you used to have pop up at your school one day, and they said it were temporary, but then it would stay there for centuries. It look like it is a porta cabin. Mind you, the porta cabin can be picked up and moved around, can't it? But I would invest in West Ham's training facilities and make it like a lot better. I think it could be one of the reasons why we have players injured is because our training facilities might be a bit trash. You know what I'm saying? Very well could be. We need to improve them. That's one thing. It's going to be something the next investor's going to have to put money into. What's your favourite animal? Pet, I'd have to say a dog. And in general, I'd probably have to say... I have to say tiger. Just like the orange bright colours. Have to be dogs because I've always been a dog person. I cannot stand cats, and also my dad's allergic to cats, so we never had one in my house growing up. I just don't find cats to be very sociable animals because they'll leave your house and you don't see them for 4 hours and they go missing for quite a bit. Would you accept the Qataris taking over at West Ham? Well, look, if they're going to put the money in and they're going to stick true to the word and they're not going to breach any FFP stuff, then yes, I think Sullivan's coming to the end of his time at West Ham anyway because of his age, and Kretinsky's going to be there. I would accept Qataris taking over West Ham, yeah, and I'd be excited for the future. It's nice to have a change, and I think we need one. It's been 13 years of the current regime. Ask away, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, people. Dog people are too needy to understand cats. What are you saying about me? Now, come on, I don't understand cats, all right? Dogs are quite intelligent. They relate to you in a way. I don't relate with cats, and also they stink. I think I'll just get a drink, actually. I'll still be on live, but I'm just getting a drink because I'm parched. I don't have anything to drink all day. So give me one moment. I'll look at your questions when I come back. In 2 minutes. Finally got a drink. Okay. Thoughts on the Manchester City situation? What would be a suitable punishment? It was a bit of a shock when I first saw it. I was a little bit surprised, but then at the same time, I thought about it a little bit harder and thought, well, maybe this has been a long time coming for a big six side with all the power and money that it's got. Something's going to happen sooner rather than later, and they're going to get caught out. Apparently, someone informed on them. It was probably Cancelo or Arteta. And what we probably want to happen to City is probably not going to happen. We probably want them to get a massive points deduction, to be stripped of all the titles. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, really. But we'll see how that develops. But it did certainly come as a surprise to me, in a way. I have to point that out. Cats are more intelligent than dogs, mate. They are snidey and smart. Can't really give an opinion on that, to be honest, because I've never had a cat. I don't plan to have one. Strip them with the Carabao Cups. But that. Yeah, I know why you're saying that, because that means Spurs would get a Carabao Cup, wouldn't they, in the first trophy in like 15 years. That's why you're saying that. I see what you're doing. Keep the questions coming. What did they use science and stuff? How did they test this hypothesis? Like make them do a GCSE paper? I couldn't even do a GCSE maths paper. I only scraped it by two marks. Of course. I think a lot of these bigger clubs want them to be stripped of the titles so they can get the titles, even though it's like, yeah, you haven't really worked for it, but it's kind of like Lance Armstrong thing, isn't it? They've been stripped of everything and it's been given to someone else. And you never hear from Lance Armstrong, do you? Because he's a massive cheat. And he's like been athletically cancelled. Just go through some of my messages on my phone. Keep asking. Keep on asking people. I'm really interested to see what you've got to say. And share this around. In fact, there's something I can do to help out. Well, 1 minute. Let me just change my bio. Yeah, I've seen loads of fans claiming City's trophies since the news about that. Oh, yeah, I know. There's Man United fans and Liverpool fans wanting it for sure. Send them to non-league, I say. Is the Earth flat? Well, when people thought the Earth was flat back in the Middle Ages, the Arabs were actually the only people to think that it was round. The Earth is most definitely not flat. It is a sphere. Weymouth away. Ooh, that's a tough one for City. Do you know what? If they were in like non-league, remember when Rangers got docked into the bottom tier of the Scottish footballing pyramid? It'd be like that. They'd be selling out games massively. I know. It'd be crazy. My local team being Sudbury, it'd be a great city to play in. Yeah. It's like it would feel like a bit of one of them random FA Cup ties, wouldn't it? Suppose, but that'd be good for the city. It'd be good income for the club. City non-league, eh? Wow, I would never see the day. That's like something you do on FIFA when you change clubs around and stuff. It's something you wake up and you have a boiled egg kind of thing. Just checking the channel, see how everything's going on my analytics. Sorry, I said to Tara, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Just a quick reminder, folks, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I think they should be made an example of in case any other clubs feel they can push boundaries. Make an example of means to punish them. Yeah. We'll make them feel bad about it. That's definitely what's going to happen. You're going to make them feel bad about it. Just make them realise that they can't get away with whatever they want just because they're stinking rich. I think, you know what? I'm going to make a point here. Clubs in the lower leagues actually need a bit more protection as well, like to avoid what happened to Bury and Darlington. Like there should be some more financial fair play regulations for football league clubs. So, for example, why is some League One player earning £5,000 a week when he should be on like £2,000? or maybe it's the lack of support that could be coming in. It's things like this. Do you know what I'm saying? It's things like that you have to think about, and that could happen to any club. It could even happen to West Ham, for all we know. But there definitely has to be tighter rules across financial fair play. They'd be relegated down a league or two. In my opinion, that's the only fair punishment. That's what we want to happen. The only thing about Qatar owners to West Ham, I totally back it. And as long as they're good people who invest a lot of money into the club and we get the right manager in, it could be the dawn of a new era at West Ham. 101 financial fair play. What? Bloody hell. If it's a different club, they get punished a lot more. Yeah, exactly, right? A lower league club like a Bournemouth or someone would definitely get a harder sanction. That's just how corrupt and unfair it is. It's bigotry. Right. I had to clutch my chest for a minute then. I thought you were all bullshitting me, but no. It doesn't have to be, like I say, guys, if there's anything you've ever wanted to ask me or get to know James a bit more, you can ask those questions. I'll give a quick weather update while I'm at it. So far, currently here in northern Alberta, Canada, it is about +4 outside, which is not common in the winter. We get this thing called the Chinook wave, which is a heat wave that comes in, it's starting to melt the snow. Only bad thing is it freezes overnight and it makes the ground very slippery, and it's a bit like a skiddy thing. Players' wages are high, but so is the cash taking the 10%ers. That is the issue. There needs to be, they might need to hire like a financial consultants at clubs. That's the thing. Having a financial consultant, someone who can monitor your money a bit more. Oh, West Ham lied to get Qatari owners. It has been mentioned in the past. Well, let me tell you something, Toast. The West Ham fans will know about this, but who remembers 2 years ago the Pi Capital attempted takeover with Tom Skinner at Dino's Calf talking about the takeover going on? Bosh. In fact, I've got a mug with me, so I'll do it. Bosh. Trying to be the spokesperson for the takeover of Pi Capital. That was not what it seemed. And honestly, I would have rather had Golden Sullivan and Brady as owners than them lot. And then we now got Qatari owners. I've seen maybe a few things about it. I'm not sure. But it has been very loosely rumoured. Once there's more legs on it, I'll get back to you on that. When was the last time you came to London Stadium? I've never been to it. I've been to the bowling ground like once in my life when I was 12, but I've never been to the London Stadium because, well, I live in another country and I don't live in England anymore. I'm like 4,000 miles away. That's on my bucket list, though, to go to London Stadium. It means I can go to London for a weekend. What I do for a living, I'm not going to disclose that, I'm afraid. Man City W. Meaning? Bosh. You know what? The fact that he's having like a curry at 5 o'clock in the morning, his stomach and bowels must be like the nuclear reactor at Chernobyl in 1986. Not even joking. Qataris have been rumoured to be looking for a Prem club with a land and area to develop, and we fit the bill. Yes, we do. It's a very attractive part of London, actually, to invest into. You look at all the business opportunity that was created in preparation for the 2012 Olympic Games. It's definitely a big area for investment, and it's very sustainable and economically feasible. So, why not? What are your favourite games to play? Do I like games like FIFA and FM? I used to when I was a teenager, but these days I just don't play them. I don't have the drive to play video games anymore. Well, I used to play FM and I used to play FIFA, but not right now. I'm afraid, adulthood catches up to you, buddy. What made you up sticks and move so far? I'm going to all the details, but my dad got a job in engineering here in Alberta in 2013. And this province in Canada, for those who don't know, is very big into the oil, gas, and engineering industry. It's what drives the provincial economy and even the federal economy to a large extent. My dad and my stepmom moved over in April 2013 to celebrate 10 years in Canada this year. I went over for the 6 weeks summer holiday. and really liked it. Came back and did sixth form, which I don't know why I did. I was probably coerced into it, to be honest with you. And I then went again, the 6-week holiday to go and see my dad in 2014. The initial plan was for me to go back to the UK, finish sixth form, take a gap year, then go to uni. While I was visiting my dad that time, I found out that I'd failed my A levels. I probably shouldn't admit this on a live stream, but I did fail. I didn't do very well in them. But to be honest, it was the best thing for me. So they decided to keep me in Canada because I was able to attend as the child of someone who was on a study permit. Did what's known as grade 12. Graduated. Took a gap year because of some immigration issues and me getting my permanent residency. Got a few jobs. I worked in Hollister. I worked in a nightclub. Then I went to university for 2 years to do journalism, then transferred to a polytechnic to do broadcasting. I had to think of the word there. I graduated. I still do use my broadcasting to an extent because I'm doing a YouTube channel. I'm doing podcasting. I'm trying to extend it a little bit. But yeah, it's been a bit of a wild ride, and I've been here nearly 9 years, and I'm now a full Canadian citizen. Well, that would certainly help West Ham, so you can see why the relegation fodder really want that to happen. If we go to the Conference League final in Prague, would you try to go? Maybe. It's my dad and stepmom went there actually for their honeymoon, I think it was, and they loved it. So it was really beautiful. If you could go to any sport event, what would it be? Super Bowl, because I nearly won tickets to go to Super Bowl 51, where the Philadelphia Eagles won it. I was entered into a competition to win tickets and didn't win the tickets, unfortunately. But I would have had it all paid for, my hotel, my tickets, my seats. And tickets are around, to put it in pounds, £9,000. Reason, the universe is amazing, James. Yeah. It's like the universe, the Universal, like by Blur. It really, really, really could happen. The universe. The universe is an amazing place. A lot of things to discover. Which team do you support? Then I can tell you. West Ham? Oh, you're a West Ham fan. If you're a West Ham fan, I don't think we will. If we play like we have done in the last 6 games, I don't think we will. Have I sent the video that someone made of the West Ham video showing the likeness between the two teams? It's a bit controversial, and it's probably not safe for work. I like their fans, but just don't agree with what the club's doing. Let's separate those two things. The fan bases are best friends. I'll give you that. Since I live in Canada, why don't people ask me about this country that's, that big country north of America that's got 1/10 of the US's population? Go ahead and ask me about Canada. See, people are commenting on my channel all of a sudden. Hold up. Keep them coming. I'm going to be here for another half an hour around. What do you want to know about the country? Okay, cool. What do you want to know? I can certainly be a tour guide to an extent. I have to say, it's easier to live in Canada than it is the United States for a few reasons. It probably has one of the best quality of lives in the world. I thought Canada's often voted like one of the top 3 countries in the world to live in terms of its quality of life, its healthcare, its crime rate's very, very low. If you move, I'll come visit. Just let me know where and when. The only downside, really, to living in Canada, I must point out, is the winter. You must have read my mind. Okay. No. Absolutely not in the winter. Canadian winters are generally very brutal. The temperatures can drop to low as -30, and it can snow any time between late October to early April. Summers are scorching hot and beautiful. The one exception to this is probably Vancouver. Vancouver tends to get a very British feel to its winter and autumn. It's just very cold and rainy, but it doesn't really get snowy. It's not really the same as the UK. Winter's still very pretty though because you have clear blue skies, snow on the ground. It's pretty scenic. It's not like a. If I got $1 for every time I said this, I'd be frigging rich when I tell people this. It's a cold, but it's a dry cold. The air's very dry in the winter. Your inside of your nostrils crack. Hope that doesn't deter you. Just saying. Vancouver's very nice. What do you mean by freeing? Do you mean freezing or freeing? As in liberating or cold? Freeing? I haven't had it up. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you, but can you just clarify what you mean? Oh, this is interesting. I'm not quite sure what you're asking, strictly speaking. If you mean like there's a lot less tolerance, it's not necessarily the case. But you get more opportunity, I think. That's one thing. I'm not sure where you're saying liberating. It's a lot more accepting towards people, Canada. I mean, a lot of people come from other countries to make Canada home. They have done for 200 years. And ancestors from Britain, Ireland, Europe, South America, Asia have all come to make Canada home and make it the country it is today. Look at the Canadian national football team. Alphonse Davies wasn't born in Canada. Jonathan David wasn't. The goalkeeper, Milan Borjan, wasn't born in Canada. Their coach is not Canadian. Lovely that. Yeah, different to Americans. I think so. Okay, are we going to stick with Moyes and fight for the teams that sack their managers? Time will tell. But things have slowly started to pick up. I said in my own channel that there seems to be like a little spark in this club that's slowly being ignited in the last few games. We just need to fully light it and get that kerosene lamp burning so we can really build some consistency. Maybe it's just been a little later than before. Sacking Moyes might have been a bit reactionary, but I wouldn't still totally be against it come the end of the season. Doesn't necessarily mean say they're going to get good appointments. I mean, look at Southampton. They made a very bad appointment in getting Nathan Jones. And the fact that he's now turning on the board, he's turning on the players. Oof. Messy stuff. Time will tell if not sticking with Moyes was the right decision. You never know. Hopefully it pays off. Keep it coming. You know, this managerial merry-go-round, it's all right saying set the manager, but who are you going to replace him with that'll change you? Of course, there's lots of names that can. But still, it's always a risk. I'm from Doncaster. Well, I was born there. Mum's from Sheffield. My dad's from Doncaster. I was born and raised there for 17 years of my life. No, realistically, it's an to a place I'd love company, but I don't think he'll leave Burnley. I'm going to throw two names out for you: Tedesco and Sione. Sione used to manage Bayern Leverkusen, and one big part of him was that he was very good at promoting youth when he was the head coach of BSC Young Boys in Switzerland. Tedesco is a young manager who's multilingual, multi-role manager, and he's a very intelligent coach. Tedesco is my replacement. Company wouldn't take any crap, would he? I've seen him shout at players in that video. Man City with big money owners and challenge against Newcastle. That's ideally where I want us to be as well. Challenge further up the league and get a few trophies in. It'll be all right. We'll be doing fine for ourselves. And, we get some glory days back at West Ham like what it was in the 70s and 80s. We get some glory back in the club. Who knows? Maybe we can win a trophy. Again, keep them coming, guys. I'm really liking some of these questions. I really want to know what people think about this club or anything else you want to ask. Just ask away. Could be even the most stupidest question on the planet. I don't care. I'll still probably answer it. Don't know what happened there. Some kind of glitchy thing. We're back though. I don't like any of those things. I don't like potatoes. I don't really like pastry, and I don't drink alcohol. I'm not a Cockney. I'm not from East London. I eat Yorkie puds and stuff. I just said I'm not from East London. I don't eat that kind of stuff. I had Yorkie puds, sausages, toad and owl, cheesy chip wrap, which you Southerners don't even know about, and half of the country doesn't even know what it is. And something Cockneys eat. You Spurs people don't need it. Then what is it then? I don't even know what it is. I'm a West Ham fan. This is like awful. I've been caught out. Mark the Rib Man. Now that's something I would try. Does he even do his own thing anymore? Mark the Rib Man. Didn't he used to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning to make his famous ribs? What a legend of the club. What a legend of this fan base. Parsley, yeah. The only parsley I know is Parsley the Lion, and yeah, I know about that. My mum used to show me as a kid. It's still about, that's good. That's good. I wouldn't eat Neil. Yeah, can I be honest? I'm not really big into Canadian food either. So I'm a fussy eater. I'm like, you're catching me out here. You're making me say it when I don't want to say it. I'm a fussy eater. I'm fussy as heck. Man, I'm very picky. I don't even like frozen stuff. I don't even like stuff like fish fingers and all that kind of stuff. I never had it when I was a kid. My mum always had uncooked food. Alrighty. Well, the first dish that comes to mind is poutine. Not the Russian guy. We're talking. It's a Quebec dish. It's French fries / chips with gravy and cheese curds on it. Tim Hortons, which is like Starbucks. That's the main coffee chain. What else do we have here? Potato chips. Sorry, ketchup chips. Canadian food. We have A&W, which is fast food chain for burgers, which I'm not keen on. East Coast, they have a lot of like lobster and stuff. They have a lot of fish. I tell you what, the best food I had was when I went to Quebec, and they have this place called the Belle Provence, which is where like this sandwich place. Belle Provence means beautiful province. It's the nickname of Quebec. They have things called submarines, which is like a Subway sandwich. I had like spicy salami in it, beef, green peppers fried, this special sauce on it. It was like the most beautiful scran I've ever had. Yeah, I prefer brown sauce. I said Canadian cuisine. I wouldn't say there's such a thing as a Canadian restaurant. A lot of it's come from other cultures like Ukrainian and Polish, Russian food as well. Dumplings, borscht, things like that are quite popular as well. I think we have some borscht in the freezer if it hasn't been eaten already. I love Italian food. That's the only food I like. Yeah. I was raised on a diet of pasta, man. Yeah. Timbits. Double doubles. Tim Horton was actually a hockey player who played for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And he unfortunately died in a car accident in 1974. And at the time of his death, there were only about 40 Tim Horton stores in the whole of Canada. Now there are thousands, maybe millions across the country. There's even Tim Hortons in the United States, but I prefer Dunkin'. We don't even have Dunkin' here in Canada. We don't even have Chipotle. New Brunswick and Quebec certainly are. Every legal document in Canada is in French and English. That's what differs Canada from the United States is the Francophone influence, as well as other political and cultural differences. Yeah, but France has had an influence on Canada, yes. I would say so. If you can speak English or French fluently, you're going to be fine. Best and worst parts of living in Canada. Well, some major cities here are considered some of the best in the world to live in, or even North America. Vancouver and Calgary are two. The country overall has a very good quality of life, like I mentioned earlier. The worst places to live, I would say, Prince George in BC. That's had a bad reputation. North Battleford in Saskatchewan's had a massively high crime rate. Regina isn't particularly a nice city in Saskatchewan. Just some places where it's very stagnant and rural and there's not a lot of opportunity. Those kind of places. I wouldn't say there's really any negative places to live, but every place has a bad place. There's parts of London that are not very nice. There's parts of England that are not nice. It's the same with Canada and America and everywhere else, really. But I don't really know if there's anywhere that's goddamn awful. I haven't personally been to a goddamn awful place that much. Well, maybe actually I went to Prince George during lockdown, and it was like a ghost town and scary and just rough. But overall, the country's nice to live in. It's very safe, and I put it out there. I'd never live in the States. I've no desire to move to America. But Canada's had an influence on the world. Look at the Winter Olympics. Gets gold medal in nearly every sport in the Winter Olympics. You talk about French influence. You're looking at Celine Dion, who is a Quebecois. Keep on going. Well, it's faster. Well, with Winter Olympics, you got faster sports like skiing and tobogganing, ice hockey, which Canada wins gold in quite often. Summer Olympics, I don't really tune into the Summer Olympics to be honest with you, but the Winter Olympics it gets a lot more interesting, doesn't it? And obviously, Canada's an ideal country to host the Winter Olympics. In fact, the first Canadian city to host the Winter Olympics was Calgary. In 1988, where Eddie the Eagle, the show jumper, did his thing. It was the basis, actually, for the movie Cool Runnings, which was filmed in Calgary. The last Winter Olympics in Canada were in Vancouver, and a new SkyTrain, like metro line, was built for it, called the Canada Line. A apartment building was built for the athletes, which is now used as rental accommodations. And Canada infamously beat the United States 3-2 in the gold medal game on Canadian soil, well, Canadian ice, which was special. Sidney Crosby scored the winning goal, and it's an iconic moment in Canadian history. Oh yeah, a lot of movies are made in Canada. You know, in Toronto and Western Canada, a lot of movies are filmed there. Even The Last of Us, if you're watching that, that's filmed in Alberta, in Calgary, Edmonton, Canmore, places like that. Where it was filmed. Titanic, right? Can I make an honest admission, Toast? I actually cried at the end of Titanic. Not proud of it. Worse. Oh, it is. Everywhere you go. I mean, it's just got natural beauty about it everywhere. Did just skip my last post. Sorry, what do you mean? I'm sure you put a typo error in there. What do you mean? What do you mean? Did to skip my last post? What does that mean? Dude, my phone's blowing up like crazy. Decent country though. I have to say, everywhere you go, it's very nice. It's clean. Whole world could learn a bit from Canada, really. I don't think I did. Did I? Let me go back up. Let me go back up. Let me go back up. Was it this one? Brown or red sauce on the bacon sandwich? I said brown. I probably flicked on it too quickly. Sorry about that, but my answer was brown sauce. Brown sauce is, oh yeah, my go-to. Talking of sauce, do we have ranch dressing in the UK? Because I don't think we do. And over here, it's like to die for. After that, let me have a look. If I have, I do apologise. I don't think you posted. No. I don't think I skipped it. No. We asked the question. If you just comment the question again or whatever it is you wanted to ask, if you can remember it, I don't really mind. Can't find it though. Either or is good enough for me. Has to be said. Of course they can. Anyone can do it. Liverpool infamously bottled. It's not over till it's over. It's not over until it's mathematically impossible for them to not win it. Think about it that way. Ah, that was nice. Anything's possible, man. Who knows? They could definitely bottle it. We'll take a few more questions, then I'll wrap it up. You prey on the downfall. I think other teams are too. Thought of someone coming just then. Oh, I kind of zoned out for a minute just then. I'll take some more questions, and I'll be done for the night. Well, evening, afternoon. I don't even know what time it is. It's like now 4 o'clock my time. So I'll answer a few more, and then I'll cut the stream. You know, I have to be honest, and when I say this, I just look back and think, what if West Ham hadn't had certain things go on earlier this season? What if Aguero hadn't been injured in that game against Rangers? I think our defence would be a lot better. Maybe we wouldn't concede such sloppy goals, eh? No, in hindsight's always going to play a part in your season, I think, and it's definitely going to play it with us. Sometimes think, what could it be? Like, what if? And if you have a season of what ifs, it's not really the best thing because you're living in regret. I mean, what if we'd have won more games? What if we'd have signed this? What if we'd have done that? I just don't want us to live with too much regret come May. Haven't found the time, and not really right now because I'm working too much. I haven't found time to cook. What's it? Back on this one. Ranch dressing, they usually serve it in a bottle and they usually have it with hot wings. I mean, I love it. I mean, I think it's great. I even put it on pizza, weirdly enough. It tastes good on pizza. Just like the tomato and the ranch mixing together. It's just like scrumptious, man. Love it. Lovely jubbly. Alrighty. I'm getting a little bit tired now, actually, so I'm going to cut the stream and say good night to everyone. For those of you who tuned into my channel, thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate all of your questions and your comments. I'm glad I'm finally starting to do this again. I found some time to do it. Yeah, bigs up to you as well, Niall. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. I will be back doing this again. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more content and follow the socials. They will be included in the bio when I edit this afterwards. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. If you're in the UK, I wish you a very good evening wherever you are in the world. I hope you're enjoying yourself today, and I will see you all soon. Take care for now.